Now, if I said shaft upgrade, you're probably thinking Japanese, handcrafted, expensive. What you're probably not thinking is ladies flex. Guys, how are you doing? Welcome back to a brand new video. Simon down here at Sandford Springs Golf Club. I'm actually on my way. It's quite late in the evening, just before the sun's about to set. Go film a trick shot. If you don't know, I just filmed loads of trick shots about 2 years ago and posted them on Instagram. Did one the other day. Got nearly 140,000 views on TikTok. What you saying? I can literally hear your eyes rolling into the back of your head through the camera. But anyway, I want to do some more like Facebook stuff, Instagram stuff, TikTok stuff, whatever, just to build brand and awareness for my channel. So that's literally what I'm about to do now. However, the reason you're watching this video is because I've just swapped shaft in my driver to ladies flex. I think 3 would ladies flex as well. I found a tailor-made shaft in my allotment of shafts. It's 2 inches shorter than a men's standard, and it's got a left-handed adapter, which is ideal. You've got to remember, right-handed adapters, left-handed adapters are different. They're kind of, well, they're basically the opposite of each other. And it's ladies flex. And I was naive when I started this whole journey, thinking I could just put an X-stiff shaft in my left-handed driver, thinking I'm just going to build up speed over time and just get used to it. And the reason you haven't seen many left-handed vlogs is because, well, my driving's just been crap. And to be honest, I just didn't want to post any vlogs because it's going left, right, left, right, left, right. I played yesterday, and I'm going to show you and talk about it now. 9 holes, and my driving was the strongest bit of my game. Obviously, everything else was rubbish because as soon as you saw one part of the game, the rest of it just unravels. But obviously, that's a very similar story to everyone's golf game. Right, let's talk about it. And it's 2 days later. A lot of you probably noticed an annoying clicking sound through the intro there. And so whilst I was editing it, it was just annoying me, so I thought it would annoy you, so I just scrapped it. And that's why I haven't posted in the last 2 days. And so I can only apologise. A lot of you probably didn't even notice. Some of you might have been glad just not to see me in your recommendation page, so that's always good. Ladies flex drive, a great drive down the first. Played the lakes 9 holes, and as I said at the start, driving went really well for the day. Irons not so much. First drive put me in a great position down the middle of the fairway, and then I absolutely thinned the 8 iron, and I thinned a lot of my iron shots for the majority of this vlog. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because obviously my weight's on the back foot, but everything felt as normal as it is. The swing, technically, or aesthetically I should say, is looking its best, but don't always go on aesthetics, go on what works for you. However, driver wise, good. Even with a great drive, one of my best drives I'd say, down the middle of the first, we still double the first on the lakes. It's a tough hole, but it's definitely a bogey. Gotta get rid of doubles. Obviously, if I want to break 80 by Feb, doubles have to come off the card. Second hole, I block it a bit left, but that's not bad. I mean, with the old shaft, we're talking X-stiff shaft, and I was naive to put this in the bag way back when. I just thought, yeah, my clubhead speed has slowly ramp up to 100, 110, 120 over time, and it obviously hasn't. It's taken me years to get to my right-handed swing, so again, a bit stupid to think that I could just pull off an X-stiff shaft, and it was just making the bad shots so much worse. Don't get me wrong, X-stiff shaft is going to go a lot further. If I catch one with it, with a good amount of launch, low spin, it's going to go further than ladies flex. We don't need massive distance in this challenge. We need 220 yards, if that. And for anyone that wants to break 80 and you hit and you already have a 220 yard consistent drive, trust me, it's the driving that's not your problem. You need to be working on your irons, your wedges, your putting, your chipping, and my chipping and putting at the moment feels quite sound. However, drivers just let me down way too many times and caused me too many problems up until this point. So some great recovery shots on the par 5 to actually make par on the second hole, which I was really pleased with. Again, I was still catching the irons and wedges quite thin, but they were finishing on target. So club face has definitely got better, and obviously a great up and down to make par. Third hole, didn't even bother with a shot tracer on this because well, I just thinned it, so you can clearly see without a shot tracer how low that ball went, but it went out the back of the green. Again, I'm just looking to make pars on these first 4 holes around the parts because they're so tough. Short game didn't help me, but it was the shot off the tee that let me down. So bogey, double, par, and then bogey. 3 over, going down hole 4, and this is a tough hole. Committed swing, and I've hit one of my best drives. And I'm not saying it's all down to the ladies flex shaft. Technique accounts for pretty much 80% of where your shot's going to go, but there is something about head shaft combination that's going to allow 20%. Any good club fit I've ever done, I improve someone's distance or dispersion by about 20%. Lessons, technique, coaching, that improves the other 80%. So I'm not saying ladies flex, go and buy one if you have a massive slice. I'm not saying go and cut down your shaft, because this shaft's a lot shorter than a standard length men's driver. I'm not saying cut down on your shaft if you want to be more consistent. All I'm saying, at this point in time, this club is now naturally closing, so my bad shots are better and my good shots are more consistent. Now, releasing the hands naturally has been the biggest obstacle of this challenge, hence why the X-Diff shaft was causing me so much problems. I was constantly like rotating my wrist heavily just to square out the club face, and it just left me an array of bad shots, either duck hook or massive block slice. The chipping, however, is slowly getting there. I'm hitting some good chips, especially on the 4th there, ball below the feet, got those hands underneath it, released the club nicely, and hit a lovely shot into the hole. Still made bogey, but 4 over through 4 holes on the lakes at this point, I'm actually really happy with. Bunker shots, chip shots, releasing the hands, and I'm talking about releasing the hands naturally. We're not talking like turning them over, because that just leaves you a world of problems. The ladies flex shaft in the driver helps me naturally close that club face. So it's still somewhere at the target, a foot before the ball, and somewhere still at the target, a foot after the ball. It's not aiming 40 yards left and it's not aiming 40 yards right. And that is what a lot of you are probably struggling with when it comes to driver consistency. Yes, when you're on, you're having a great day, but it only takes one drive to knock your confidence, and then all of a sudden you're constantly saving hook on one hole, massive block on the other, hook on one hole, massive block on the other. And that's where I am in the game, and all this ladies flex shaft is doing is giving me a bit of a placebo effect, but at the same time helping with my swing at this point to stop the really bad shots. Now, there's 2 reasons why I changed the ball on the top half of the 9. Number 1, because I've lost so many balls with my driving recently, I've basically been using pebbles, your Strickson distance, your max flies, your Don A's, whatever. Because to be honest, if you're not consistently striking the ball at the middle and hitting decent drives, shots, wedges, whatever, there's 0 points. So stop spending £20 plus on a dozen balls if you haven't broken 100 yet. Number 2, I wanted to see how it would perform with the driver and the wedges and everything else, and it actually felt really good. So I'm just using a normal chrome soft. I highly rate chrome soft in terms of a premium ball that would work for the majority of us. And through the top 9, iron striking became better. I committed more, and I normally find this, I warm up into the round, get a bit more confidence. I kept my swing very short with a 7 iron on the 6th hole, and I slowed it down to show you guys. It looked fantastic on camera, and the end result was also good. The question is, how is it going to hold up under pressure? At the moment, I'm just playing by myself, and I show you the good rounds, not the destructive rounds. So how's it going to hold up under pressure when I play other people, or there's a penalty, or whatever it might be on the line? And that's the big test. Because time after time, even my right-handed swing just unravels, and that's 10 years worth of work there, just unravels when it comes down to the pressure side of it. So I've got to make sure that whatever I'm building now is a bit more watertight. Beautiful little pitching wedge into the 7th hole, over water, water to the right, pretty much dead on the left-hand side, committed, divot, strike, balanced. We're getting there. We're getting there. My biggest advantage throughout this entire journey is knowing that I can do it right-handed. So I know whatever I'm doing, even if I hit bad shots for 4, 5, 6 weeks, I can still commit because I know it worked the first time round. It's very easy to get down on yourself when you start having a bad week, bad 2 weeks or a month. Just keep grinding away. You haven't lost your old swing. Don't feel like you're making your swing worse. Just pure experience, different lies, different conditions, putting, slow, fast, whatever. You're always improving your golf swing. Don't feel like at any time that you're wasting your time out here. This is supposed to be a hobby and something that you do to enjoy yourself. Don't make it something that you learn to hate. So coming down the 8, I'm 5 over currently, which is a very good score for myself at this point. Got a few lucky breaks. I actually hit some bushes and it came out from out of bounds on the 6th hole. So at this point, with no pressure, that's not a bad score. Started hooking the ball on 8 and 9, mainly because I think, just like my iron swing, I was committing more, getting my weight forward, and that's something I've really struggled with throughout this whole journey, like transitioning my weight naturally onto my front foot, and it makes me realise when I try and teach my lessons how alien it is, how to create a bit of club head speed and get your weight going with the ball rather than going onto that back foot. Once I get that in tow, iron striking is a lot better. All of a sudden I'm releasing the club a bit more, so therefore the ladies flex driver potentially is now too flexible. But don't just keep chopping and changing. Like, I'm going to keep this shaft in my driver now for a good month at least to see where we are. I've hit some of the best drives throughout this vlog, throughout this entire, what we now 7-month journey, something like that, and that's not down to fluke. Maybe placebo effect, and that is definitely something that is real, but it's definitely not fluke. And then finally down the last hole, big hook right, wedge shot a bit thin into the trees. That's something that I'm really having to get used to. I have to use like the course as it's designed. I'm so used to just hitting like a wedge over trees or taking driver and cutting off the corner, whereas now I've actually got to play the course as it's designed, at this point anyway. Here's the big thing to take away from this. If you swing at 100 miles an hour, don't automatically think you need a stiff flex shaft. Yes, on paper, that makes sense. But if you're spinning the ball already too low, say your bad shot's already a 60-yard dispersion, why do you want to put a shaft in your club that's going to launch it lower and spin it less? Because it means the bad shot is going to go even further to the left and to the right. Give yourself something that's actually going to take the edge off. Add a bit more spin to your game. Yes, you might hit another 20 yards further when you catch it with your X-stiff shaft. But is that going to make you score better? Are you that good from 80 yards that it makes it worthwhile than being from 100 yards from the flag? The ladies flex shaft, for me, at this point, is keeping me in play. And that is a big bonus. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Loads of interesting videos coming up over the weekend, so if you wouldn't mind leaving this video a like if you're still here, subscribing if you are new, and I'll catch you guys later.